The cold bites deep into the earth, turning the Korean soil to iron. A shadow, small and deadly, tumbles through the air. It lands with a soft thud in the shallow scrape of a foxhole. It's a grenade, its pineapple-checked steel a promise of instant oblivion. A hand, raw from the cold, snatches at it. But there is no time. A blinding flash of white light. A deafening crack that rips the world apart. The universe is shrapnel and pain. This is February 26, 1951. On a desolate, wind-swept hill near the town of Maltari, Korea, the men of the 17th Infantry Regiment stare into the frozen gloom. They are a thin line of defense, etched into the unforgiving landscape. Their breath plumes in the frigid air, mingling with the scent of gun oil and fear. Among them is Corporal Einar Ingman, a young man from Wisconsin, his face already chapped and worn by the brutal winter. The ground beneath his feet is so hard they couldn't dig proper trenches. They are little more than exposed targets, huddled in shallow depressions behind their machine guns. The sun is a pale, indifferent disk in the gray sky. Across the valley, shadows begin to move. First a few, then dozens, then hundreds. The quiet hum of dread is shattered by the piercing sound of bugles and whistles. It's a sound that has come to mean only one thing: a Chinese attack. A human wave, a tide of quilted uniforms and determined faces, begins to pour over the ridgeline, a river of men intent on washing the Americans from this hill. The American machine guns open up, their heavy chatter a desperate, hammering rhythm against the rising noise of the assault. Muzzle flashes lick at the dim light. Hot brass casings spin and clatter onto the frozen ground, steaming for a brief moment before the cold claims them. Corporal Ingman grips his rifle, his knuckles white. He watches the enemy advance, an unstoppable force flowing down the slope. A man screams nearby. Ingman's squad leader clutches his chest, a dark stain spreading across his uniform, and pitches forward into the dirt. He doesn't move again. For a heartbeat, there's only the roar of the battle and the sight of their fallen leader. In that moment of chaos, with no one to give an order, hesitation means death. Einar Ingman doesn't hesitate. He crawls to his leader's position, his mind clear and sharp amidst the storm. He is in command now. He shouts orders, his voice raw, pointing out targets, directing fire. He sees two enemy machine gun crews setting up, preparing to sweep his squad's position. He knows they have to be stopped. Raising his rifle, he takes careful aim. The stock is cold against his cheek. He squeezes the trigger. One enemy soldier falls. He works the bolt, the metallic slide a familiar, reassuring sound. He fires again. A second man collapses over his weapon. The first enemy gun goes silent. He turns his attention to the second gun crew, but they have seen him. A burst of automatic fire rips through the air above his head, kicking up chips of frozen earth that sting his face. He ducks low, feeling the hot passage of a bullet tear through the flesh of his upper arm. Pain, sharp and immediate, floods his senses. He ignores it. There is no time for pain. He continues to fire, to direct his men, a whirlwind of focused aggression. The Chinese soldiers are closer now, so close he can see the grim determination in their eyes. They are clambering into the American positions, the fight devolving into a desperate, close-quarters struggle. The air is thick with smoke, shouts, and the screams of the wounded. Ingman moves from point to point, a constant presence, his rifle a part of him. Another round finds him, this one slamming into his leg, but he stays on his feet, his will a fortress against the agony. Then the grenade. It lands just feet from him, a dark omen in the churned-up earth. He sees it, reacts, a primal instinct to protect his men screaming in his mind. He lunges for it, to hurl it back, but his wounded body is a fraction too slow. The explosion is a physical blow, a hammer of pure force that lifts him and throws him against the wall of the foxhole. His world dissolves into a roaring, red-black haze. The sound of the battle is a distant, muffled drumbeat. Shrapnel has torn through him, but the worst of it is his face. His left eye is gone. A piece of steel is embedded near his right. His jaw is shattered. Blood pours down his neck, warm and slick against the freezing cold. He can't see clearly. He can barely think. A medic scrambles into the position, his face a mask of shock at the sight of Ingman's injuries. He rips open a field dressing, trying to staunch the bleeding, shouting for a stretcher. But through the fog of pain, Ingman understands. To be evacuated now means the position falls. His men die. He pushes the medic's hands away. With a gesture, a guttural sound that is all he can manage, he refuses. He will not leave. Staggering to his feet, he is a terrifying sight. A man held together by sheer, impossible will. One eye is a bloody ruin, the other barely able to focus. He picks up his rifle. He knows what he has to do. His squad is pinned down, the enemy is about to overrun them. He must attack. He lurches out of the foxhole and into the open, a solitary, bleeding figure charging directly into the enemy. His first shot is almost instinctual, a point-and-shoot at a shape moving through the smoke. An enemy soldier falls. He takes another step, his wounded leg threatening to buckle. He fires again. Another soldier goes down. He becomes a specter of vengeance, a one-man counterattack fueled by nothing but raw courage. The Chinese soldiers, so close to victory, are stunned. They see this apparition, this blood-soaked American who refuses to die, coming directly at them. He moves with a terrible purpose, his rifle spitting fire. He kills a third, a fourth. He fixes his bayonet, the cold steel clicking into place. He closes the distance, the fight now hand to hand. He is a force of nature, a maelstrom of violence. He kills a fifth man with his bayonet, the impact jarring through his wounded arm. He clears one foxhole, then another. He shoots, he stabs, he clubs with the stock of his rifle. Each enemy soldier who falls seems to fuel him further. Sixth, seventh, eighth. The world is a tunnel, and at the end of it is only the enemy. He has no thought for his own life, no feeling but the cold, hard need to push them back, to save his men. Ninth, tenth. He stands alone over the body of the last enemy soldier in the position, the Chinese machine gun now silent at his feet. The momentum of the Chinese assault is broken. Seeing the charge falter, Ingman's squad rallies, surging forward to support him. The remaining enemy fighters turn and flee back up the hill. And then, as suddenly as it began, the fighting in his sector is over. The adrenaline drains away, and the agony of his wounds returns, 1,000 times worse than before. The world begins to spin, the gray sky and frozen earth blurring into one. He stands for a moment, a silhouette of defiance against the smoke-filled sky. His rifle slips from his grasp, clattering onto the icy ground. Corporal Einar Ingman, his duty done, finally collapses into the snow. His men rush to his side, their faces a mixture of awe and horror. They had just witnessed the impossible. They had just watched one man, grievously wounded and refusing to yield, single-handedly turn the tide of a battle and save them all. He had faced down death, and for his friends he had won. Tell me your favorite war story I should talk about next. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video.